name's WR, and my company is General Electric. Let me tell you about it. Come on. Hey, how's it going? Like I said earlier, my name's WR Dudley, William Dudley actually, and today I'm going to be talking to you about General Electric. So, today in my presentation, we'll be talking about many things, but to begin, in the next slide I will be introducing myself, then I will be giving a preview of my main points so you know sort of what I'll be talking about. Then I will give my main points, present my research findings, provide a summary, and then I will open the floor to you for some question and answers. Now to begin, as I said, here it is in print. My name's WR Dudley. I am from East Lansing, Michigan. I'm a freshman currently attending CMU. From Wheeler Hall, and as you can see, I'm a visionary entrepreneur. So for my main points, we will first be talking about the key board members of General Electric, going over their products, their financial health, their plan of recovery, the SWOT analysis, and lastly, and most importantly, I'll be presenting my research findings. So, for the first keyboard member, his name is Larry Klupp Jr. He is the current CEO of General Electric, and next to him is Caroline Dybeck, and she is the CFO of General Electric. Now, Mr. Klupp graduated from Washington College, and then he went on to Harvard to get his master's degree. And after he got his master's degree from Harvard, he went on to the company called Danaher. And during his time atop Danaher, the profits went from $20 to $50 billion. Now what's interesting about Mr. Klupp is that he is the first commander-in-chief in General Electric's history to be an outsider to the company. So what that means is during General Electric's entire history, all of their board members and CEOs have been internally recruited. So that's kind of cool. So the next person, Caroline Dybeck, prior to General Electric, she was the CFO of Maersk Shipping. There's one of their ships, and if you don't know about that company, they deal with international trade. She's relatively unknown to U.S. investors because for her entire professional career, she has been involved in the European markets. Now, sort of a really big opportunity for her because she's unknown. If she's able to change General Electric for the better, she will make herself become a very much desired CFO for other companies if she's able to pull it off. So for our products, the first sort of segment, General Electric has many different product segments, and their first segment is the energy segment. And within that segment, there are two parts. There's the traditional and green energy segment. And as we can see here, this is a steam turbine and a generator, and this is sort of their traditional energy market. But going off of that into their green energy market, and as we can see here, they mostly primarily are involved with wind turbines, and here we have some offshore wind turbines, which is kind of cool, I think. And GE actually has the most powerful wind turbine in the world, which they're manufacturing. So branching off of that to the next product division is the aviation division. Now, if you've ever flown on a plane, like for example, you flew down to Florida for spring break, or you went and visited a family member who lived across the country, or even went somewhere in the world, most likely that plane had a General Electric engine. As we can see here, here are two turbofan engines. So, on to healthcare. Currently, during the coronavirus, General Electric is manufacturing ventilators. But that's not their specialty in the healthcare division. They're actually known for their CT scan machines and other scanning devices. And these are really critical in the medical field because they allow medical professionals such as doctors to diagnose things. Continuing, lastly, which you and I have most likely interacted with, are GE appliances. And as you can see here, they have ovens, toasters, refrigerators, washing machines, stoves, and ovens. So they kind of have a very wide variety of products. So our next sort of key point in this presentation is the financial health of the company. So during the early 2000s, General Electric reached its peak of a market value capitalization of over $500 billion, making it, at the time, the most valuable U.S. company. But as we can see as time went on, especially during the 2008 financial crisis, GE made some critical errors that I'll go into. And one of the things which basically sort of sealed their coffin, so to say, was that they acquired this company called Genworth, which dealt in long-term health insurance. And as a result, they were just losing so much money, they had to sell that branch, and they're still to this day affected by it. But Mr. Klupp has a plan to recover. And basically, that involves penny pinching and saving money wherever possible. And in my research, I saw that included cutting 220,000 workers' pensions and the selling of different divisions. Now on to the SWOT analysis. General Electric's biggest strength is their brand recognition. As you can see, that's their brand logo, and I've definitely seen this before, and you probably have as well, and the strong research and development. And then on to their weaknesses. General Electric is dependent on raw materials from other sources, and also they have a weak performance in Asian markets. And for opportunities, General Electric has a keen eye towards developing markets for an opportunity, and also the information and technology sector. Finally, for threats, one of the biggest threats for General Electric is the instability in the oil and gas industry and strong competition from other companies such as Samsung Heavy Industries, Caterpillar, and Rolls-Royce, who also manufactures jet engines. Now on to my research portion. My question was a simple one. How do college students view General Electric as a brand? And the way I went about answering this question is that I used a questionnaire, and I selected 10 people to take this questionnaire. So for my methodology, I used a questionnaire, and here is the actual questionnaire. I put it on. I will read you the questions in case you can't read it. The first question reads, do you recognize the General Electric logo? And I provided the logo on the questionnaire. The second one reads, have you ever heard of the company General Electric before? The responses were yes and no. Number 3, do you have a favorable, negative, or indifferent view towards General Electric? The fourth question was, if you were to buy an appliance, would you buy a General Electric appliance solely based on brand? And the last question was, do you view General Electric as trustworthy? Now for my results, 100% of the participants recognized the General Electric logo. 80% viewed General Electric as trustworthy. 60% had a negative view towards General Electric. And 30% of the participants would buy a General Electric product based solely on brand. Now, this was my research conclusion. College students strongly recognize the brand of General Electric, but they do not have brand loyalty towards General Electric. So in summary, I talked about key board members including Larry Klupp and Caroline Dybeck. Then I spoke about the products they have, including the energy, aviation, healthcare, and the appliances they have. We have gone over the financial health and their plan of recovery. I gave a little SWOT analysis about them, and I presented my research findings. So now, I open the floor to you. Do you have any questions for me? Thank you.